At a press event on Thursday, New York City Mayor Eric Adams was asked about the number of homeless and asylum seekers in New York. Mayor Adams declared a state of emergency earlier this month as New York grappled with an influx of migrants bused from border states in a Republican-led initiative. New York has established a, quote, humanitarian relief center on Randall's Island in New York City. Adams was asked about the strain this is putting on the city's budget and if he would need to start cutting city services. Adams said it was, quote, clear that we navigated through this storm. He praised President Biden for helping decrease the number of buses that were coming to New York, but still insisted that he needed money from the White House.
The second part of my question is
Yes.
the number of asylum seekers has now reached over 21,000 people, which is a tremendous problem for you to deal with.
Yes.
And it's costing a lot of money, and despite your pleas for Washington aid, so far nothing has come through. I wonder at what point, given the fact that you have a budget that you have to do a budget modification next month and a new budget in January, at what point do you have to start cutting city services in order to deal with this massive emergency that you're being faced with?
Well, I think in hindsight, two things we should look at. Number one, why it was crucial that I communicated to New Yorkers a few weeks ago on what we were dealing with. There was an honest moment that I had to tell New Yorkers what we were dealing with and what I needed from the federal government. And the president responded. They did a decompression strategy. We were getting 8, 9, 10 buses. After we communicated with the White House, they responded. They put in place a decompression strategy. I think today we received 2 buses. Yesterday we received 2 buses, a substantial decrease. Only 2 people got off those buses of the Port Authority, of my concern, that wanted to go to other places. And so it's clear that we navigated through this storm. We don't believe we're there yet, but we need to really look at how this administration dealt with a real crisis. We would have continued getting 10 buses a day, 9 buses a day. That would have had a major impact on the future of our economy. We have over 21,000 now. Close to 19,000, 18, 19,000 are still in our care, but there's a real system that we have in place, and it's an economic challenge. We need money from the White House. We need to allow people to be able to work.
At some point, the huge amounts of money that you have to spend to deal with this crisis is going to take its toll on the services that you have to deliver to the 8 million people that you represent.
My first priority is for long-term New Yorkers that are here. That's my first priority. And I'm always going to keep that in focus, and I'm always going to fulfill that obligation. And that's why we need the federal government and we need the state to also assist us. This is a national problem, and we must focus on that problem on a national level. The president took the first step to doing that. The White House did. We're happy that they did, because it was more than just funding. We said we needed to stop the flow, and that's important. And Matt, thank you for that, Fabian. It's 15,900 in our care now.
But there's no funding, Mr. Mayor. So far, there's not a single.
Well, we stopped the first phase. The first phase was stop the flow, slow down the flow. We think we're going to reach a place to do that, and now we're still in negotiation to get the dollars.